that's based on traditional rock sharki from Egypt or any of the Middle Eastern dances.
So it has to be based off that.
I think so. I mean, that's where we're all coming, or when I'm coming from, and I'm old school.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my students who've been with me for 8 years, I call them new school. I'm old school. I was trained with dancers who actually went to Egypt, and it was follow the leader. There was no, this is your oblique muscle, and your psoas pulls in. It's like, follow me and do what I do. And so it was all improvisational. There was no choreography.
I think you answered this to some extent, but how much is improvisational and how much is set, and when are those done?
Well, I never did choreography until I had a troupe. And it was kind of going through that, why can't we all just dance all the time? And I had to start forcing myself to do choreography, which is still not my favorite. I think you should be able to dance improvisationally to a song. It should move you. You shouldn't be stuck with a set of movements because you never know what's going to happen.
And this is close, but what do you think of belly dancer, like the intention, when a belly dancer performs, what are they trying to convey, besides just like their own personal feelings? There's a lot of sensuality and stuff like that. Right. What would you say?
It took me a long time to come to terms with the sensuality, because it really is, it can be sexual, in that you're, as a cabaret dancer, it is very sexy, but you're trying to convey a sense of enjoyment of the female body. And a lot of women, especially in America, you get so caught up in body types, whatever, you don't enjoy yourself. So there is that
interact. I mean, you said you kind of flirt with the audience, but is it performed to where, I guess like the classical, almost proscenium, where you're dancing and they're all sitting and watching? Or is it to where they start interacting and possibly even dancing with you?
You have to understand that a belly dancer traditionally is one step above a prostitute. Good, nice, respectable women don't dance. And so the belly dancer dances for them.
Okay.
So, I mean, you may see sometimes in a restaurant where people will get up and dance with the belly dancer, but it's stand up, sit back down. There is no get on the dance floor and everybody dance. So the belly dancer dances for these women because they can't.
Okay.
They're not allowed to. That's why I always talk about my theory on the head tossing. You see a lot of belly dancers will start doing this head tossing where they're slinging their hair around. Well, I think it's because they're unveiled. There's hair. They're showing it off. It's almost loose, risque.
They're almost being for the women what the women can't.
That's why you flirt with the women, because
it's for them.
They want to be you.
Could you talk a little bit about your company here in Jackson and like local? Could you just talk about your involvement in the community with belly dancing, maybe on a small level? Like, do you have a company name?
The troupe name is Mississippi. And we started off the first incarnation of trying to pull a troupe together. We used Jawahir, which is jewels in Arabic, and it didn't feel right because it felt too much like we're trying to be something we weren't, And we recognized that, well, here we are, a bunch of Irish descendants, and we're doing Arabic dance. So Mississippi seemed to fit us so much better. But it's finding something that moves you. Some people it may be dancing, it may be something else. But what we have discovered belly dancing, and it moves us. And we can't help when you hear that drum beat. We can't help not want to just go nuts. And I guess this is a really hard question. But what we're trying to bring to Jackson, just a love of a different culture, different sounds, and of movement. Every woman should be, I think, in some way wants to move, and we just happen to like to move with belly dancing.